All praises to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how our outward man is perishing, man. But the inward man is getting built up in his spirit, man. That's the ultimate of what Yahweh wants for every single body of the elect, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 14. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahweh Shai shall raise us up also by Yahweh Shai. And that's what we're waiting for, man. And that's why the scriptures speak about we don't know what we're gonna be yet. But we know that when we see Yahweh Shai, we're gonna be like him, for we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him as he is, because we're waiting for, according to Philippians 3 and like 20 to 21, it speaks about how our conversation is in heaven. For instance, also we look for the Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who shall change our vile body like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Right? That's what we're waiting for, man. And the path to get that has required for a building up of the spirit, man, to whatever small or large amount that's took place, man. And it's caused for you to also to be considered as a weirdo, man. It's caused for you to also go on like righteous rants, man, and to be angry more days than you're not, more days than you're happy. Verse 15, for all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of Yahweh, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So even if you just think of it in the most basic sense, every single day, right? Every single day in this world, you're getting one day closer to ending up in a casket, man. Not to sound too pessimistic, but every single day that you're living in this kingdom, that's one day closer to ending up in a casket, just in the most basic sense. Doesn't really matter how young you are, how old, how healthy you are. Every single day in this kingdom is one day closer to the grave, you know, because your lifetime's limited in this kingdom. Whereas in the kingdom of heaven, your lifestyle is continual, man. Your life's gonna be continual. You're not ever gonna die. Let me get a scripture on that. Because as it stands right now, the elites, they've got money and wealth, right? But they also know that death's around the corner every single time. But for us that are not living in a nice life right now, we could care less about that. Ecclesiastes chapter 41 and verse 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that have nothing to vex him, and that have prosperity in all things, yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. Right? So even if you've just got the money in this world, the lifestyle and all that, right? Eventually you know that it's going to end up getting destroyed, man, because of the basic rule that every human has, according to what the knowledge of this world is, that men die. So then, if you're not careful, you'll end up becoming like the type of people that are spoken about in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, by where they say, let us just live it up out here and oppress the poor. You end up being a lesser version of an Edomite, man, if you're not careful in this world, and think that you've made it because you've got some small trinkets, man. that can easily be taken away from you. Verse 14, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. And what's that talking about, man? That's talking about how the ability going to be given to the Israelites in the kingdom to be immortal. We're going to literally go from being people that used to walk, catch the bus, catch the train. You might drive, then you don't drive anymore, right? You might ride a bike. You might flipping, I don't know, man. Someone might have an electric scooter or something, man. You might have all these other basic human means of travel. But you go from that to being in the kingdom where you can fly now. Where you're like, you know what? Another Israelite says, oh, you want to come to my house? And you're like, all right, I'll be there in a few seconds. And you just teleport there, man. That might be powers that we're given in the kingdom. To just teleport places. Never mind flying. Might have the ability to teleport there, man. We're going to have the ability to walk on water. Walking on water is going to seem like an easy trick. That's going to be like some of the first steps that a baby might do. You know, when people take a picture or video of their baby walking for the first time, some of their babies first walking might be walking on water, man. Some of their little babies' first steps. And then you take a picture and it's going to be that baby walking across the sea or something, man. Because they saw a dolphin underneath the water and they wanted to try and play with it, so they ran and ended up walking across the water to try and find a dolphin or that. These are the kind of otherworldly type things that people are going to be doing out of Israelites, man. But right now, the outward man is perished, man. So you lose your hair, or you lose your health. You might train hard, but your body just don't really have the access to the form of glory that you had before you knew about anything about being an Israelite. Whatever age you might have been when you first found out, man. Let's say somebody found out there was an Israelite when they was 10. And they used to be healthy, and that they might start slowly deteriorating, man, and their health's not the same anymore. But talking about the Lord, Yahweh, gives us a boost in the spirit, man. And brightens the countenance when you talk about the Lord, man. Sometimes you see on camera when people are talking about the Lord, when they first started the lesson, they might have seemed tired or whatever. And then when they start talking about the Lord more, you start noticing that their countenance seems like it's become brighter. On camera, live, in the flesh, man. Live in the flesh. And let me get a scripture since I mentioned the outward man perishing. Because a lot of people, they don't even realize that they're perishing, man. They've got delusions of being something special in this world, man. And everyone's running around competing on some keeping up with the Joneses stuff. But they don't understand that that's folly. And that stuff don't last, man. Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches. So you got all these people that glory in because they've got cars, clothes, because they go gym and they become whammed out or whatever. Or I'm henched out, bruh. But there's always another person when it comes to that type of life that can handle you. And the same person that you beat in a fight one day, the next day they might beat you up. They might have had a full stomach that day, that they didn't feel up to speed as they normally would. Or they might train for 2 weeks on a new skill, or they might train a few weeks on get their cardio up or whatever. And now they can beat you up, man, because the only reason why you beat them the last time is because they had better cardio than you on that occasion. And that's what happens in that combat sports world, man. You got one guy that beats somebody that he wasn't supposed to technically beat, but then he loses to somebody that he was supposed to beat. You got that in that combat sports world, man. So we ain't supposed to glory in none of these things because it's not really the thing to glory in, man. Riches. All right, people glory in riches. That's the main one that people glory in. But this world's making billionaires now out of a person buying a cryptocurrency. So someone's bought a cryptocurrency, some flipping one of them joke coin things or whatever, Dogecoin. And then now they put £2,000 in there. And then they woke up 2 months from now and it's £500. But then they woke up five months from then. And then now that's turned into somehow millions. Somehow it has. And then they sell it and now they're a millionaire. So is money something to glory in this society when it can be made from like weird means that are not realistic? Is that something to glory in? Considering that it's got an Edomite's face on it anyway. And if you're in America and you've got the money, well then you already know that the money's got damn homages to Egypt on there, man. But anyway, verse 29, 23 again. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahweh. That's what Yahweh delights in. Men that glory and boast in him, that we understand the Lord, man. And it don't matter how crazy family members think you are and all of that. When you talk, if they ever be around you, you continue to just want to speak about righteous things, man. To the point where you don't even want to be around them, neither do they want to be around you, man. And then people doubt that the word of the Lord has effect because they see the outward man perishing, but they haven't got no eyes to see the way how the inward man's full of strength, man. So that when that day comes where they put in people's heads in guillotines saying, do you change your mind on whether you would take the Charagma of the beast? And you say, nah, I don't change my mind and I don't really want to keep talking to you any longer. Just pick the things that the blade can come down, man. So that I can get on head on up out of here. And I'll see you later when I come back down to. And I'm going to look a bit different when I see you. That's the kind of mindset that certain people are going to have, man. And other people will have a different mindset. They might cry or whatever. They might wet themselves in order to build up their spirit to not take the Charagma. But as long as they don't take it, who cares? The story that's going to be told in the kingdom ain't going to be a story of how you're the one that wet his pants and didn't take the Charagma because you were shook, you were scared, you coward. No, that person's going to be had glory because they didn't be a sellout, man. Verse 25. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt and Judah, and Edom, and the children of Ammon, and Moab, and all that are in the utmost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart. So that's the kind of things that's getting ready to happen, man. These are the kind of things that's getting ready. The judgments are getting ready, man. And everybody that's building up wealth unto themselves, thinking that they escaped it, you ain't escaped nothing, man. And that I'm not talking about people that are of the elected nation of Israel that are gonna do things to build up wealth because they'll be ultimately doing it and dispersing it back around by fellow Israelites, man. I'm talking about these heathens that are thinking that they've got a 10-year plan and all that, and they're trying to do it to flex, man. That flex spirit, people don't even understand that flex spirit is going to stir up anger and envy, man, in people. They don't understand this. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And there's a lot of people that they don't even understand, man, that people are watching everything that they're doing, man. And they can't wait for that day when they get to be let loose on this world, man. There's a lot of people that they might be a cleaner somewhere or whatever. There might be a cleaner somewhere, and the people are always rich people in particular, man. There might be a cleaner in a hotel, for example. This is a good example, man. There might be a cleaner in a hotel, and every single day they're seeing rich Edomites. There might be an Elam, and they're seeing rich Edomites every single day, just coming in, deliberately like defecating on all up around the place, beyond the measure that seems like it could be by a mistake, man. Treating poor people, the poor man, in a horrible way, man. But when all hell breaks loose, that type of man is gonna have the revenge on the wicked, man. But people don't understand these kind of things. They don't think that this kind of stuff could take place, man. People never counted on that society was gonna change, man. They didn't ever think that was gonna happen. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap on earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So right now in the earth as it stands, to get certain types of nice things in your house is cheap, actually. Because you can buy them on I don't want to say subscription fee. You can loan, like you can pay like a monthly payment or whatever, and end up getting the same items if you would have paid it straight up cash. So because of that, you've got people that are building up pride, man, and they're thinking, oh, things are good, or they can get a car, you know, they can get a car in a easier way. So they think, oh, I've got a nicer car now. It didn't take me hardly any time to get this nicer car. So they think, oh, I'm gonna escape judgment, man. They think that the judgment ain't gonna come. They don't really believe the talk that people say about how this society is gonna come down, because their reality, as they see it, shows that this society is not gonna come down. So they don't believe that this society could fall, but it's gonna, man. And that might seem like it's out of topic from the outward men perishing, but it's not really, because we understand that these things are gonna perish, because Yahweh's trying us. Yahweh's trying us in a different way than what he tries these people, man, because he don't care about them like that. He cares about us. Second Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. So when you come to serve the Lord, you already know you're going to be tried, man. You're going to get tested. The people that don't serve the Lord, they don't get tested, really. You know, they just get judged. Verse 3. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So what does that mean? That means you're going to end up in a low position. You're going to be changed to a low estate, which shows that previously to that, you would have been in a different state, man. And that change into a lower state could come in many forms. It could have been one guy had the talent to be the world's best musician, man. He could have been literally the world's best musician. Another brother could have been so talented in combat sports that he could have whooped the current champ's ass if he didn't take time off from training to learn about the Lord, man. He might have been young or whatever, been skilled enough right now, been skilled enough in combat sports to have been a UFC champion. But he said, fuck that. I'm going to be a champion for the Lord, man. It could have been people that could have been the next LeBron James, the next Jordan or whatever, or the next financial tycoon. You know, there could have been a person that could have been or started the next fashion brand, you know. But they said, nah, I'm not going to do that. But there could have been people that could have just got a better 9 to 5 job, but it would have took them away from the Lord, and they said, nah, man. They said, nah. Yahweh guided that spirit to be like, nah, you gotta reject that, man. It would have helped you out financially, but it would have destroyed you spiritually. So I've removed you from that. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So just like how gold gets put in a furnace of fire, man. Men of the Lord get put in a furnace of adversity. And in that furnace, many things happen, man. Health depletion, wealth depletion, decrease of social circle, lack of being attractive to women, you know, losing respect from these people in this world, which really is not real respect anyway. These are some of the things, and there's many more, man. Being considered crazy. And all the abundance more things that's going to be happening when all hell breaks loose in this world, man. But I think I've made the point, man. I think I've made the point on this particular topic, man. The outward man perishes, man. But the inward man is strong, man. Strong enough to say, you know what? I'm going to be one of them people that fulfill Revelation 20 and 4, man. That's what kind of inward man we're trying to build, man. An inward man that can say, you know what, man? Do it then. Go ahead, man. When that guillotine shows up, we say, you know what? I ain't taking no Charagma, man. But those people, other people that built up the outward man, well, that's the way their glory lies now, in the outward man. So when that Charagma comes by, for them, they're going to say, I can't deal with this. I'll take one. I'm going to end the lesson there, man. Don't take the Charagma, man. And don't be surprised that the outward man is perished, man. Because the scriptures speak about that. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hasham Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hasham Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to every single member of the elected nation of Israel, who are those people, man, that are going to get beamed up, man, in them chariots. Shalom.